summer is finally here, I thought I would recreate a top that I've seen a lot these past few years. I'm talking about this lace top. I bought this pink rivet knit fabric and this lace ribbon for the top. And since there was some fabric left over, I made a dress of the same design. This type of fabric is stretchable and has a very soft and delicate texture that feels really nice when wearing it. Also, unlike other synthetic fabrics, cotton allows the skin to breathe, so it stays cool all day long, which makes it the perfect fabric for a summer garment. If you don't want to use the knit fabric I use, you can also use any other type of fabric as long as it is stretchable. To make the top you only need half a meter of fabric and 1.5 meters of lace ribbon, and for the dress you need 1.5 meters of fabric and ribbon. You can find several models of ribbons in any fabric store. I've created a pattern with 8 different sizes of the top and the dress. You will find the link below in the description. Also, to know what your measurements are, I've created a measurement sheet and a manual to take your body measurements correctly. It is very important to keep in mind that the measurements are variable, since each body is different. If when you're measuring, your body does not give you the exact measurement of the size chart and you're between 2 sizes, I would recommend using the smaller size, since the fabric being stretchable adjusts to the body when you have it on. For example, my chest and waist are size XS, but my hips are about 96 centimeters, so for the dress I have to use size S at the bottom. This can be easily changed with a French curve ruler, or if you don't have this item, you can draw a curved line from the hip part to the waist to adjust the pattern to your measurements. Besides that, the back of the dress is 2 centimeters longer, as the length usually varies in dresses fitted to the body because of the buttocks. If you prefer to make the dress with the same length at the front and back, you just have to cut along the dashed line. This way my dresses usually fit me perfectly. A very important fact about knit fabric is that it only stretches when the fabric is pulled in the opposite direction of the lines. So when cutting the fabric, the lines have to go in a vertical direction. So let's start with the tutorial. The first thing you have to do is to print the pattern at 100% scale. On the first page, you will find a scale in centimeters and inches to check if the sheets have been printed with the correct size. The pattern of the top is 4 pages long. First, you have to line up page 1 and 2 without overlapping the sheets of paper and then tape them together. Do the same thing with the remaining 2 pages. Now cut out all the pattern pieces, but only along the both lines. Once you've finished this step, fold the fabric and place the pattern on top, with the straight part on the edge of the folded fabric. To keep the pattern from moving while cutting, I always put something heavy on top, like a couple of books. To cut the fabric, I use a rotary cutter. If you don't have a cutter, you can use normal fabric scissors. You just have to secure the pattern on the fabric using sewing clips or something similar you have at home to prevent it from moving. Don't forget that the lines have to go vertically so that the fabric can stretch, except for the straps, where you have to do it the other way around so that the fabric stretches more. To sew the straps, first we have to fold them in half and place pins. Once this is done, we have to sew the straps along the edge of the fabric. Now comes one of the most tedious parts. The straps have to be folded from the outside to the inside so that the seam is not visible. The pattern of the top has 1 cm seam allowance on each side. We start by folding the 2 outer parts of the fabric and the upper part of the back side of the top. Do not stretch the fabric while sewing, otherwise you will end up with wavy seams. I cut off the excess fabric so it wouldn't bother me later. Now you have to cut a centimeter down in the center of the front part and fold and sew the fabric again. In the center, we sew again with a zigzag stitch to ensure that it does not fray over time. Once the front part is ready, we attach the straps with pins, folding the end a little bit inwards. The straps have to go a little outwards so that it doesn't look weird when you have it on. And we sew the straps. Now we cut along the dashed line of the pattern. This piece will be used to attach the lace ribbon. I recommend that before this step you baste the front and back part together and try on the top to check if it has the correct measurements. The pattern is placed on top of the fabric, matching the edges of the fabric with the pattern. Now it's time to place the ribbon. It is placed from the point where the strap begins, leaving half of the ribbon sticking out of the fabric, and then passing under the pattern without touching the paper, as you can see in the video. And do the same thing with the other side. When sewing the lace ribbon, you have to sew along the two edges of the lace as precisely as possible. Once this is finished, we place the lace on both outer sides of the top and on the back, and sew it to the fabric. Now we just have to sew the front and back piece together. First I sewed it with a normal stitch and then I tried it on to see if it would fit as expected. If everything is alright, you can serge both parts or sew it with a zigzag stitch. The lace is also sewn with a thread of the same color so that the separation is not visible. I sewed the ends that stick out of the shoulder straps by giving it the same stitch several times in the same place. This way you won't notice the stitching. If you take a bra and measure the distance from the cup to the bra strap, it will give you the length to position the straps of the top. Also, the length of the bra strap is the same as the length of the strap of the top. Once they are sewn correctly, you just have to sew the lace ribbon to the strap to make sure it doesn't move. Lastly, the bottom part needs to be hemmed. This type of fabric tends to pucker a lot when sewn. For this reason, to make the hem more even, I put a very thin piece of paper under the fabric. The bad thing about doing it this way is that you have to remove all the pieces of paper afterwards. And that's it. This would be the finished top. I also made another one in a brighter pink. Here you have the final result. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comment section. I will try to answer as soon as possible. If you recreate the top or the dress, don't forget to tag me so that I can see it. I will leave my Instagram and my TikTok account here and in the description. I will be uploading more content on this channel and on my social media soon, so make sure to follow me and to subscribe if you don't want to miss anything. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.